All right, hello, and welcome back to ThwakJak. My name's Anthony Stevens, and I got another ThwakJak top 10 for you. Today, since everything that's been going on, I think we all need a little bit of a filter, especially for everyone who can't really leave their houses right now. I decided to give you guys my list of top 10 quarantine movies to watch. Some of these, maybe a few you have heard of. A couple of these will probably be a little bit out there. Some of them I just kind of had to go out and find on my own. Just one night kind of wandering through HBO or whatever when I was younger, or even some of them are more recent. A couple of them are movies that I watched the first couple dates I had with my wife that kind of stuck with me. But we'll start with one. It's more of an emotional movie. It's very much about redemption and kind of fighting depression. It's something that's super close to my heart, especially with losing people to suicide and things of that ilk. It's called The Risk Cutters, hyphen a love story. It is, to make it quick, about a guy played by the lead actor from Almost Famous that commits suicide. And basically, when you commit suicide in this movie, you go to purgatory. Everything's real bleak. You can't smile. You can't really do anything, but you're kind of pushed into this second life of just monotony and boringness. And I won't spoil anything, but it all kind of picks up from there. It's a very unique story, something I never expected, and I just found it one day when I was bored scrolling through channels a few years ago. My second pick, I picked this one for one primary reason. When Robert Pattinson was first cast as Batman, everyone's first reaction was, ew, the Twilight guy. And just as maybe for a sign of hope for some of you watching, please go watch The Lighthouse. Hopefully it will help you abandon any thought you have of a sparkly vampire, Robert Pattinson. It is genuinely fantastic acting, and he does a phenomenal job trying to differentiate himself from what he did in the past. And it is a very dark, A, it's black and white. B, him and Willem Dafoe play off of each other perfectly. It's really disturbing at some points, but please give that one a watch. Next, I have Grandma's Boy. It is a super stoner comedy, and but at the same time, I don't connect on it so much with that because due to my job, I can't really do that. But I connect with it more on the level that a lot of it has to do with video games, and I absolutely am crazy about video games. I love my video games, and I love my comic books. And basically, you follow a video game developer who, long story short, has been pretty much forced to live in his grandma's house because his roommate doesn't pay the rent and they get kicked out, and then kind of follow his life from that point. There's a lot of hilarious moments in the movie. Definitely not for kids, though. So if you get a chance, definitely give that a watch as well. My next movies is the Boondock Saints franchise. I really wish I could differentiate which one I like more. They are both fantastic to me. And I don't think either one is truly better than the other. Just for the purposes of what got me into it, I would say probably watch the first one. If you don't watch the second one, I understand, but the first one is fantastic. It's like, what if the Punisher was like two brothers and they were it's like the most realistic version of like vigilante justice in movies that I think I've ever seen, and you can really get behind the main characters and their motives, and it really becomes it's really just an interesting story. So if you get a chance, also give that a watch. The next movie, I don't know if any of you are into musicals or not. I know I'm really not crazy about them, but Sweeney Todd. Uh, it's not a traditional musical, and I think the reason I actually reached out and tried to watch it the first time was a movie that not many people are crazy about is Jersey Girl. It introduced me to it through the musical scenes in there where Ben Affleck is basically trying to help his daughter get her segment for her like talent show ready. All the other kids do a segment from Cats, and she wants to do a segment from Sweeney Todd, and it's super dark. People literally eating people, kind of stuff, but it is a fantastic story, and I think it was genuinely one of the last movies I really enjoyed Johnny Depp in. So, wish he would do some more stuff like that. But at the same time, I feel like he kind of put himself into a trap where everything he does is so outside of the box that you can only describe it as a Johnny Depp movie. But hopefully he can try to recapture his magic sometime soon. Next, I have House of a Thousand Corpses. Genuinely one of my favorite movies. It is super off the wall. I know me and Damian have talked about it before in some of our videos, but it introduced me to Rob Zombie as a filmmaker. Loved his music growing up, but seeing him as a filmmaker definitely throws you a loop. I actually watched Devil's Rejects before this one, but I don't think I really knew that was Rob Zombie until after I watched House of a Thousand Corpses and found out they were linked. Super enjoyable. You'll see some faces in there that surprise you, like the guy from Talking Dead, Chris Hardwick, and you got Dwight from The Office. Genuinely good performances from pretty much everybody in the movie, but it's super interesting, super off the wall. Definitely worth a watch. Next one is a movie you can actually find on Netflix pretty much all the time because it's a Netflix exclusive. It's called Take the 10. It is Josh Peck, which is a name I know no one's really heard of lately, and Tony Revolori. He's the guy who plays Flash Thompson in the Spider-Man Far From Home and Homecoming movies. Genuinely got like some really good laughs. Stuff I wasn't expecting, especially coming from Josh Peck, who used to be so squeaky clean back in Drake and Josh. It's a completely different take from what he used to do. So definitely worth a watch if you get time. Number 8 would have to be The Phantom. This is the movie that I challenged Damian with, and I honestly didn't know what to expect a reaction back from him, because when I was a kid, I watched this movie to the point where I broke the VHS tape. It just started spooling out and wasn't able to watch it again. That's the only reason I stopped watching it. To the point where years ago, my mom actually bought the DVD and gave it to me as a Christmas gift because she knew I missed it. So yes, please give that one a chance. I genuinely don't think I'm the only one who thinks it's a good movie. So next we have American History X. I don't think I need to say too much about this one. It is a super interesting and surprising take on racism in America and finding a way out of it. I actually read the book that it was based off of, that it was being written at the same time as the movie. It's called Autobiography of a Recovering Skinhead. Found it through No Place for Hate Day when I was in high school. They had the author come in and pretty much promote the book and kind of explain how he got away from that life. And super interesting. The movie is just as interesting. And Edward Norton does a fantastic job in that movie playing basically a skinhead who's gone straight and realized that he was stupid for what he does. Also, one thing if you want to look out for in that movie, Ethan Suplee, the guy from My Name is Earl, had to be pushing 500 to 600 pounds in that movie. If you look at him now, as of the beginning of 2020, almost unrecognizable, and he's genuinely one of my biggest inspirations when it comes to acting in the entertainment world. Being able to see someone make that kind of transformation is amazing. All right, my last movie is it's a little bit of a wacky one, but every now and then you just need a good stupid little laugh. Actually, I'd watched it a few times, but like the time that sticks out in my head is when me and my wife first started dating. We actually watched it together as like a first date sort of movie, and it's kind of along the lines of Scary Movie. It has a super silly title. It's actually made by the Wayans brothers. The title kind of makes fun of like 90s hip hop gangster movies like Boys in the Hood, Don't Be a Menace to Society, and Juice and stuff like that. Really long title. When I was writing it down for this list, it actually took up 2 whole lines. It's called Don't Be a Menace to South Central While You're Drinking Your Juice in the Hood. Genuinely just stupid fun. Just nice little change of pace to kind of lighten up the day, especially with everything that's going on in the real world right now. So yeah, if you get a chance to watch any of those movies, just kind of let me know what you thought. Leave something in the comments or send us an email at ThwakJak@gmail.com. Send us your feedback on our videos or what you thought of these movies. And if you guys get a chance, if you wouldn't mind just liking, sharing, and subscribing. All of our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and especially YouTube. Give us a thumbs up on this video, please. But until next time, you guys stay safe, wash your hands, and see you next time. Peace!